Alright, let's try this again, you know, with sound. So I guess that last time I run that, I must have had unplugged my headset before closing ops or something silly like that. Oh well. Anyway, guess what? There's sound now. I'm Feather Monster. You're here to see the TAW Newcomer tournament. Uh, and let's see, this is, I believe I said it was a Group B match between United Lowbobs and Urban Myth, and it looks like people switched servers or something while I was freaking Paris servers invalidated. Paris Hodor. Okay. We maybe have another server here. Maybe. It looks like it, so I'm going to switch servers now. Wait, I can just use the... So I hit all the wrong buttons here, of course, because now I kind of messed it up. So give me a moment while I go and relocate where everybody went to. Or people having issues. What's going on? Anyway, of course, this is NS2, so there's got to be some sort of issue, even though timeliness is kind of important here. I apologize for having to restart the stream, given the fact that, you know, my sound was apparently messed up. But, so it goes. So we're seeing if we could switch servers for some of these guys. So I guess that one of the alternate servers isn't updated, so it looks like we might not be able to actually switch servers. It might just be them stuck with this magical thing called this current server, which is, where is it, Vienna? Alright, so hopefully they can sort that out pretty soon here. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how these guys all do, because there's a lot of names in here that of course aren't familiar, because guess what? The whole point of this tournament is to, like, you know, be freaking new at the game, and, or, well, not new at the game, new to the competitive side of the game. And, you know, trying it out and seeing how the 6v6 works. I mean, obviously there are captain's modes now running a lot of servers. Well, actually, I don't know how many of it is now, because I don't exactly go looking for captain's mode servers. But anyway, uh, there's those run, but they usually aren't 6v6, and it is a slightly different thing when there's, you know, less people running around the map, both, you know, for good and for bad. So we'll see how this works. I believe the maps, as I seem to have edited, are they Biodome and Vale? The text is really small in the preview, so I can't exactly tell, but... They are NA. Twice as far from US East. I don't know whether that means that they are West Coast, because if they are West Coast, then I'm going to recommend NA East for both rounds. For both maps. Oh, I cut off my laugh at the end. Oh well. Anyway, I'm since I am out here on the West Coast, I was sleeping during a good chunk of the previous games, but I did look at the scores for these guys, and it looked like there wasn't like any stomps for in their favor. I think that it was. Let's see. It's like, oh, never mind. Urban Myth did pretty dang good. United Lowbobs ended up tying. Well, overall score wise. So it looks like Urban Myth may have a bit of an advantage, but who knows? I mean, that's part of the issue. Part of the thing with this is it isn't a requirement to be new at the game. It's just that you know, a requirement to just be new at competitive. All right, so they're getting that worked out, but I mean, it isn't exactly the greatest ping for people on West Coast servers. I mean, under two under 200 ping is pretty reasonable, but there are a couple that are spiking up there. The guy with 245 must just have really terrible internet or something. Oh no. Some people have issues with London. Ah, lovely. Well, hopefully this will get started soon. Anyway, I think that on Urban Myth, I do recognize a couple of the names that have been on there, or at least looking at the overall list for what's it? Looking at the overall the player list on the NSL website, I do recognize some of the names on there as players that I've pubbed with and stuff. So it's interesting to see how they're actually going to play in a 6v6 setting. All right, so it sounds like they're just going to give up and just call it good for now. And on the USC servers, the you know United Lowbobs will just have ping issues. So no matter what, somebody's going to have issues. So I think at this point they're just going to see if they can ready up here. So let's actually get into this. It's like we're short one Lowbobs player, but we got Urban Myth. The current roster is White Jaguar, Spectation is their calm, Ike, Shadows, Gomo, and Force. Looking at United Lowbobs, we've got Zauberfuchs. I'm, of course, going to mangle some of the names. We got Holo, Lux, we got Gimme, who is league information unavailable. So it doesn't like cooperating, apparently. Or something, I don't know. So we got Gimme, we got Lopez. We also have a parakeet singing in the background, but at least that's better than her yelling. So, so it goes. Looks like Hectics will be their last player. Luke's is their calm. I apologize if I have mangled any of their names, but so it goes. And I think they do have 5 minutes it is since they readied up to get everybody in there. I mean, everybody is on the server, so it is just an issue of people to ready up. Of course, it's already been delayed. Oh, only 10 minutes. Right. So it sounds like they're flailing around a little bit because of the server issues, but we'll see what happens here. I'm assuming that our ref, who is Safad, will actually go and talk to the appropriate people involved to be able to tell whether or not we are actually going to be going ahead with this match right now. I know that the schedule's set up that theoretically there's supposed to be how much? There's like 20 minutes of like buffer time between them. So, theoretically this could get going here. Theoretically. Ah, some lovely ping there. I don't know if that's Alt-Tab ping or if that's not. I mean, it's to a certain point where you can't really tell. But we shall see. As I think I said a little bit ago, who knows? It's NS2. It's always going to have issues. And I know that there are multiple streams going on at once, so there's probably something else to watch that has already started at this point. I don't know why it's such an issue. Always. But there's always got to be one. There's always got to be one that is just slightly messed up. Alright, so obviously 1 to 2 minutes. Alright, so they should, I think, be starting on time, or starting within their 5 minute window, or however long it is between ready up and stuff. Sorry for the delay, but yeah, there is a, at least assuming assuming everybody keeps to schedule and don't have any ridiculously long rounds, it should be pretty much okay. Oh, I spot Ren in chat. Hey Ren, missing out on the Newcomer tournament. Didn't get you haven't signed up to cast anything in like a million years. But yeah, this should be, as you said, this should be interesting. There'll probably be some stuff that isn't necessarily what you'd see at higher levels of play. There may see some people who can't shoot their way out of paper bag. Then again, you could see people who are really freaking good at killing stuff. It really depends, and I think that this format really allows for a really wide variety of skill, which could make the past rounds, or the past rounds played kind of unpredictable, especially when there's only one other match that has been played for these teams. At least for the match that'd be the third set, or whatever you would like to call it, there'd at least be a little bit more background info because you have 2 rounds to work with and you can sort of compare between them. But the way it is currently set up, I mean, that wide range of skill really makes it so that it could be just about anything. So let's see how it goes. It'll be a grand mystery, at least for the foreseeable future. And hopefully we'll get the last player in there, so that way we'll be able to go and get this thing rolling. Beyond this, what else do we have? Of course, if you are participating in this competition, or you're part of a Div 4 team, I believe that Schwa is trying to set up another smallish competition like this, and I believe there's information on the ENSL forums. I think it's in general NS2 chat, I think, that has links to all the stuff. He's calling it the divisional, and I guess it's just stuff based, at least the first competition is Div 4. So a lot of these teams, depending on their player breakup, would either be in Div 3 or Div 4, I'm just assuming. So we'll see. Let me type here for a moment. 5 minutes I have to ready up, and alright, we finally look like they got everyone, so we may actually be starting here. A little bit of a delay there. Hopefully will not be the case for any of the future rounds, because of course, as I said, it's kind of an issue time-wise. Alright, so we're all ready to go here, and hopefully we will be getting this started now. Now that we have everyone here, give them, 30 seconds for to get Hectics up to speed with whatever strats they're going with. And we'll have to see how it goes. Of course, since theoretically these are teams that are new to 6v6, or at least, the majority of the players on it are, I may say suggestions and that kind of thing. They might not always be right, they may not always be the best suggestion, but heck, I hope they're better than just, what if they do something really goofy, or you keep seeing the same thing, like, an out-of-position Marine, or, people running off one by one, taking engagements all, onesie-twosie, whatever. Then, hopefully that'll help out. And I hope that the teams are later looking back on this and maybe seeing where they could improve and possibly come back to play for Season 6, which should be starting up sometime after this, not too long. So we're going to go right into round 1 here on Biodome. Unsurprisingly, we have the normal fixed spawns. And an armory set up there in base, and a little bit of confusion there on the initial splits, but it looks like we're probably going to be seeing some mines starting up pretty soon. Most of the aliens heading down the left side of the map. We'll have to see where they end up meeting up. Looks like we're gonna have a couple heading over towards... Oh, no, never mind. They faked me out here. Not too much aggression from either team, but with 3 over on platform, I'm assuming we're gonna see at least 1 or 2 heading to falls. Oh, Urban Myth is just being so sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky. But then again, so are the guys over here from United Lowbobs, and it looks like they're maybe just going for a base rush. I mean, you have to think that that's kind of suspicious. You're this far into the game and you haven't seen any skulks. And there they go. They're past that, and Holo is like, wait, they're running through. Luke's jumps out of the chair, and he's going to get a little bit of chip damage on some of them. Urban Shadows is down to half, and they're going to swarm him. They also have Hectics running back as well. Mines are done. And the skulks are on two different things there, which of course is not going to help very much. They get picked off one IP, and it looks like they might take down the other. All they need is another... Oh, they're down to one skulk left. But they do have enough res for another IP, so somebody just needs to jump in the chair and just call it good. Meanwhile, they've got Lopez, who's wandered all the way up to Agri Labs, and he's just working on the res. And of course, that's the only harvester outside of base that Urban Myth currently has. So if he's able to clear that up... See, it's down to... Oh, it's not even grown yet. But it looks like Ike's gonna take him out. So they have an IP again. They got some mines down in base. A whole bunch of mines down in base. So that'll definitely help with that. It is just definitely something to be aware of. If you see 0 skulks, you should probably find them. Because, yeah, they sometimes like being sneaky. And it's never a good thing. It looks like we might actually have Gomo heading towards base again. Oh, Holo just like totally missed him. Yeah, they're pushing at base again. So I don't know whether they're trying to make up for lost time here or what. Luke's again jumps in. Oh, nice mine there! Taking out 3 of the skulks. So all that's left is Ike, and he'll get cleaned up by another mine. So they're back up to 2 IPs. So that was a very good mine placement there. So they're all dead again. They could get some more mines set up back into base. And at this point, pushing is probably a bad idea for Urban Myth again. They did their initial damage. They did 40 res worth of damage by destroying both those IPs. And though both teams are currently sitting at 3 RTs, I mean, look at it. The Marines have obviously gone relatively uncontested. Looks like we have Shadows and Gomo just kind of sneaking over here. It looks like we're actually going to have 4 skulks converging on poor Zobber, Fuchs, and Gimme. As they swarm over there, Zobber goes down, and next is going to be Gimme. Lots of chomping noises going on. Ike and Force have both been pretty well chipped. So the next engagement with them is going to not necessarily go well. But looks like they've got looks like over here in Hydro they had Lopez and Holo show up just in time to kill a Drifter. Finally getting some pressure onto the Marine Naturals here, but it looks like Force is going to get picked off. Lopez is in a nice line of sight there right around the barrier. And Shadows has decided against going in on that engagement. Probably pretty wisely. So, out of that engagement over here in Infiltration, we obviously had 1 skull coming out Victor there. And, let's see, what's that? Oh, that Harvester will be fine. They'll be able to keep that running. Zobber and Shadows having the little fight there right outside of Bamboo, which Zobber ends up winning. Force is just kind of hanging out on the over by the tech point there. Can't really do all that much. I mean, Gimmy's is well, actually, they're both parasited. But the thing is they're looking in just the wrong direction for Force to be able to do anything, particularly Sneaky Pants. Though at this point, Gimme almost lost line of sight there around the pillar. Of course, you can't see where it is, but it's somewhere in that general vicinity. It is Commander Invisible layer or whatever on the map, so we can't see it from spectate, but so it goes. Oh. Should have called that engagement, but I think Gomo and Ike were both already very chipped. It might have been better for them to just back up and go maybe help out in falls if people decided to call for that. The obs is up and they are going to go for fairly early phase gates. Excuse me. That is one of the things that is generally not done in upper division matches, just because, well, if you have phase gates up, you generally kind of have to keep them up. But we're going to see Lopez here dancing around 3 skulks. He ends up picking off Force with a pistol. He's getting meted. He's getting a lot of bullets into Gomo, but nope, not enough. He gets cleared out there. Maybe it would have been better to just reload his LMG rather than having to reload his pistol. But no matter what, he was probably pretty dead there. But anyway, the thing with phase gates, of course, is that, you know, if you're putting up your phase gates, you have to defend them because they're kind of expensive if you keep losing them over and over again. Alright, we do have lurks up. We have White Jaguar up as a lurk. We'll have to see if we get another one. It's kind of a late lurk, I think, but at least we got one up flying around the field now. Hello, running solo over here, just clearing up some of the assists. Cutting the chain there in what is that little hallway? Access tunnels, that one. Lopez dancing around there, getting a lot of damage into both the skulks, but not enough to clear him out. It'll be easy enough for somebody else to come back and chip him. Oh, Holo's in the vent. That isn't gonna help for chipping that, but we got a nice gate up here in, let's say, West Route. Not exactly necessarily the best location for it, just because of those walls there. More often you'll see it over here, or like over here or something, where there's slightly more room to maneuver. But as long as they have that nice forward position, I mean, at this point, Urban Myth does not have enough for to be able to go and you know, get another gate or something. But they have. Here's part of the problem is that right now, they could go to base. Right now, Urban Myth could go to base. They have a nice open lane here through. Oh, okay, never mind. Hectics is now actually showing up there, but for a good 30 seconds, or no, well, not necessarily 30 seconds, but there was a chunk of time there where they very easily could have gone through and just, you know, wandered into base to say hello. Zauber running off by himself, ends up getting picked off, but at least they have a Holo over there hanging out by the gate so they can defend that. Okay, there's another fact there that's for why that might not be the best position. Oh, it didn't get force. I mean, you can see here's the issue where that gate position is becoming a bad thing. I mean, you can see it's between two walls, and Zauber attempts to defend it, but you know, between the walls, you can't really maneuver much there. You can't jump out, so they do end up taking down that gate. Rule of thumb: put your gate in a nice open position, or if it's in a an open position, maybe slightly behind a wall, or slightly out of a nice long hallway, so you can not get spiked to death by a lurk. You know, stuff like that. Really think about where, as a commander, really think about where you're putting your buildings. And we can see that Gomo's set up to try and pounce on whatever Marines come through the door. He possibly went a little bit early there. But he does end up taking down Zauber, and he's going to go after Holo while Shadows finishes off the RT. So now Shadows will be able to go in on him. But we got Gimme running around the corner there. One of the skulks down, both skulks down. Lopez is still alive, he's just cleaning that up. Reloading, he's gonna have White Jaguar showing up in his face pretty soon. It's almost Fade Res, so we'll be seeing Fade show up very soon here. Matab is done, so it's all ready for him. Looks like maybe they were considering putting a gate over here in Agri, which of course is another good forward gate position. But they're just gonna lose the res there. Meanwhile, we getting some mines out on the naturals to help slow that down. Looking at the res graph, I mean, there's been a lot of damage done to these RTs over the time. But at this point, with lurks up, you really need to make sure that you know, have people going together in groups, or that one lone lurk is going to do a lot of damage. And now there are fades. The main issue right now that's going on is the fact that they don't have an arms lab. Or if they have an arms lab, guess what? It doesn't have any upgrades running. They really need to see if they could get that running. That is part of the issue, again, with, you know, running mines and phase tech. Is that, ooh, nice mine taking a good chunk of White Jaguar's health. You gotta make sure that you get those upgrades so you aren't just, you know, 2 bites and a parasite away from death eternally. And they just dropped the hive there while that was all going on, so, you know, they got a drifter over there building that up, and they're getting shotguns. So they're, for whatever reason, they're opting not go for weapon armor upgrades. They're just going for, you know, new weapons. I mean, sure, it helps. It helps a lot with fades, because obviously, you know, not exactly a long-range weapon, and fades aren't exactly a long-range life form. Nice wall here, splitting them up, so that way they'd be very easy to pick off those Marines. Not that I think it's very much of a challenge at this point for Urban Myth to pick them off, just because of the chosen tech path. I mean, if you put your money into getting early phase tech, as I mentioned earlier, it's has a really high chance of backfiring if you aren't able to keep your res up. And with only 6 Marines running around the map, I mean, you got to keep one person on gate at least. You got to, so that means you only have, and you know, you have your comm. So guess what? That means that you only have 4 people running around doing stuff. If you don't have the weapon upgrades, then, well, 2 bites and a parasite, they're dead, and it just can end very badly. So if we look at the res graph, you can see, you know, they've expanded the res for aliens has expanded over into falls, and at this point it's going to get a lot harder. Shotguns are scary sounding though, so that might help slow things down. But it looks like Zauber may get picked off before he picks up that shotgun. No, he's able to get it. Quick reload there. They get rid of Force's armor, but he's able to get out. Lopez on the wrong side of a wall there. He's going to get chomped on by the lurk. Doesn't die though, so he gets meted, gets welded. So he's all ready to go, and we got Goma hiding around the corner. We got two skulks over here in Canopy. Let's take a quick look at Marine Base. They do have the arm slap up, so it's just a matter of getting that researching something. And they're currently sitting at 5 res, so it's going to be a while before they're able to get that, because the first set of upgrades is 20 res. So they really need to like make sure that they aren't putting too much pressure onto anything. I mean, but at the same time, they need to hold on to their phase gate, because of course, you know, that's like keeping their res safe as much as it can. So they're in a room with a hive, a almost completed hive, and 2 fates. Oh, but he actually does take down Gomo though. Gomo getting a bit too greedy there, and if they end up meting Lopez, which he really needs at this point, he might actually be able to take out the other fate as well. That hive is almost done though. It's only even 1 more percent, so now he has the heal, so he really better get out of there. Alright, they're going for Crag Hive. That is another thing is that you generally the alien tech path as well is something differs with the higher div teams. I mean, usually you end up seeing the Crag Hive, though I think the Crag Hive first. Though I think that Shift Hive has seen a little bit of a resurgence with some of the Euro teams, not as much with the North American higher div teams. Oh, and the other Fade goes down as well. We're getting a little bit too greedy there. Jump back just in time to see the Fade become a corpse. So we must have done the same thing, just staying in there too long, possibly running out of energy, and just totally throwing that. But they're almost up to Onos res though, so that might save them right now. Taking a look at the res graph again, I mean, they're keeping pretty even, which of course is never good if you are the Marines. You want to make sure that they're, you know, freaking at least 1 RT beneath you, or if not more. Getting a nice couple pistol shots into White Jaguar, was able to get out through the vent. Seeing it a little bit scattered between the room here. I know there's a couple things in the middle of the room here that help break up line of sight, but you really got to make sure that you're able to shoot the aliens off each other. But then again, on the other hand, good job for Urban Myth, because that means they're able to try and pick them off. Got Lopez rampaging through here, shooting at some eggs. I mean, there isn't much he can do really as a little, you know, lonesome Marine. And they're gonna call the life forms over here, aka just White Jaguar, at least for now. It's gonna be another oh, I see somebody with 0 res. There's Ike. He is turning into a no-nos, and we should have another one somewhere too, don't we? We saw 2 fades in a lurk. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, Shadows just has not turned into a no-nos. I just skipped over his name. Alright, so Shadows should be becoming an Onos fairly soon as well. I mean, they really need these life forms. Forrest going after Lopez, getting a nice bite on him, but he's going to go down there to Lopez's gunfire. Onos has been rampaging around. He already got 2 kills just outside the hive there, but the thing is, the gate is currently undefended. Okay, it's not quite in that little hallway anymore, which is much better to be able to defend it. But there's nobody there at the moment either. There is the armory, which is going... Okay, now we got Hectics there, and it is, you know, with that armory there, it is going to make it a bit harder. Looks like it is fairly well placed as well, but it's not going to stop everything. With power down in falls, that's obviously going to make that hard to cap. And we'll have to see what they end up doing, but they're losing all their back res at this point. Or will be very soon. I mean, they're building up the one here in Canopy. I got one blinking over here in seating, and they just lost platform. Well, with that down, they're going to call the Onos over, and they're going to see if they can take down that armory, and then take down the gate. Oh, never mind. Never mind. From the angle I was looking at, it looked a lot better than it was. As you can see, there's just enough room there for an Onos to get through, and they're able to take down the gate, and now they're going to work on the armory. Man, that looked really good from, like, you know, right here. That is one of the issues with the top-down views. Sometimes you get faked out because of the angle. But I think that happens with pretty much all of them. All the games that have a top-down view. Sometimes you could get a little bit faked out because of just the angle of the camera. So they're trying to recap falls and maybe try and get a falls gate, but it looks like with already losing Holo, they're gonna lose Lopez as well because Jaguar's there trying to bite him and they take him down. And I took out somebody else who was wandering in that general vicinity. They're gonna take it the filtration RT, and then looking at the graph, well, both teams actually lost some res recently, so not too bad on that aspect. And their Shadow's up as the other Onos. Now they need to get these Onai together and get them to do work. Shadow's just better make sure that he doesn't do anything dumb and loses Onos right after, turning into one. What's he doing? Okay, get out of there, dude. So he got pretty low, all things considered. I mean, it wasn't quite to the level of, one Marine being able to solo him yet, but it wasn't exactly ideal. It looks like Holo, Lopez, and Zalba are going to moving in on Ike and White Jaguar. They are finally going for weapons too here. I think White Jaguar just might have eaten a little bit of a mine there. But since they finally have armor when they finally are getting weapons too, they're just about catching up to where things might have alternately been. And we got Gomo up as a Gorge. And these poor Marines are just getting swarmed. Looking at PRS, there's plenty for shotguns. So they may want to consider getting a couple shotguns out there and running them with the LMGs. Have the LMGs try to take out White Jaguar. Because he's just, kind of floating around, being like, hey, I'm an awesome lurk. And they have Umbra now too, so that'll make things even more annoying. But at this point, unless they're able to, do something amazing and really pick off at least one of those Onai. But with Umbra, that's going to be really hard, especially since they still are not quite done researching weapons too. I mean, they've sort of clawed it back, but at this point, Gimme survives with like no health and no ammo. They might take out Shadows though. He's lagging a little bit. They do have charge, and he does enough energy to use charge. He just doesn't use it for whatever reason. They chase after him, and Ike moves in to try and intercept. He takes out one of the Marines. He's able to get out with half health. Need to make sure that they're charging out of there. If you're the lagging Ono, well, not really lagging, but lagging behind Onos with kind of this issue called half health. We got Goma the Gorge showing up now, so he's gonna heal up Ike. I think Shadows went back to the high. Yep, there he is. And so see Gimme and Zobber moving off to, it looks like possibly platform. Trying to get some sort of foothold back on this map. And here comes Shadows zooming right in on him, and that both of the shotguns just get completely wiped off the face of the planet. Falls has been dropped.
Under attack.
We got one lurk just hanging out in base, forcing everybody to get beacon back. I mean, it maybe wasn't necessary, and it looks like Urban also went. Was that Urban? Oh, it was Urban. I was just assuming because it was a lurk, it was White Jaguar, but no, it looks like he's floating around elsewhere. So they went for another lurk, so they're up to no fades. They don't need no stick and fades. They're just crashing around with two Onai. I mean, really, all they should have had. Well, actually, maybe they're just waiting for White Jaguar to get enough res, and then he can go Onos as well. Then it's the typical 3 Onos to win thing. One fight, everybody else kill the power, kill everything else. You're done. Oh, but Urban Force already goes down. I click away at just the wrong moment. He got pistoled around a corner pretty much. Oh, and Shadows goes down. What the heck, guys? You were almost set up to win. Urban Myth was set up to win. I mean, it literally was wait another, what, minute or so, and they'd be set up to win. I mean, when you're so close to win, you can't throw your life forms when you're so close to, having this game set up and done. They just need to be able to assist over to platform, get another RT up, and maybe they can claw something back here. Looking at the P-Res we've got. Yeah, the next closest one is going to be White Jaguar. I mean, Goma will be able to go lurk if he wants to provide Umbra support. Shadows is going to try and be sneaky. But we got Holo and Zalba over here. Ike running in, taking a lot of damage. Goma trying to work on clearing. Oh! White Jaguar. Just tries to face tank them as a lurk. They were able to recap that shotgun. And the hive here in Falls is also done. So he'll obviously be going Ono soon, unless something totally crazy happens. Yeah, he's down to 2 res. He's going to be going Ono, so they're going to be back up to 2 Onos and 2 Gorges? I mean, I guess it works, but you really only need 1. And Zobber getting completely clobbered there by Ike. Now White Jaguar's up as well, so 2 Gorges, 2 Onos. Each one has their very own pet Gorge. And they'll have to decide what the heck they're doing here. If they stall out, I mean, it's gonna take, I mean, Lowbobs are back up to 3 RTs. And we have 2 running into the hive. There isn't anything interesting to kill there, though. And Stomp has been researched as well. First Veil is up, second Veil up. Ike just taking a swing at the power, and they're assisting into base. That'll help blow up those mines once those actually connect, but it's gonna be a little bit. Oh, and they got a Gorge Tunnel right outside of base. Ike running the heck out of there. Hydra's getting set up in the hallway to be extra annoying. And it's not looking so good at this point for Lowbobs. They're trying to clear up some of the assists. Ike just needs to go back and heal up a little bit. I mean, he's out of armor, so he's going to be a little bit squishy for no-nos. Meanwhile, Gumbo's just like, sup, I'm going to bile bomb this to death. So maybe with this tunnel there, maybe get a Crag as well. That would probably be a good addition, just so that they'd be able to hold on to it. But at this point, well, kind of have some Marines going forward in pressure. This is a good time to use Stomp, get them all on the ground there. And pick them to tiny, tiny pieces and just trample them. And that's what? 2 shotguns? And yeah, they're gonna GG it. They do have enough rest for more shotguns and stuff, but yeah, with Infestation showing up right outside their base, it's pretty much over. And so they are going to move, they're gonna give up this round, give it to Urban Myth, and move on to round 2. I'm stuck inside of another Marine. Alright, so let me take another quick look here in Alt-Tab. Where is it? Alright, there it is. Alright, so Urban Myth was... Were they one that lost? Am I reading this wrong? Okay, that might actually be incorrect on the site. Alright, because it looks like, according to that, Urban Myth is the one ahead. So again, they were the one that came into this with a slight advantage, I suppose, even though, again, you have no idea how the teams are actually going to play until probably the end of the set of matches, just because the skill variance can be so high. So I'm pretty sure that I've played with White Jaguars quite a few times in pubs, like, you know, from ages ago and stuff. So I'm assuming he has pretty high number of hours, and possibly some of these guys do too. I don't remember. But as far as the Euro teams go, I can't say the same for them. I mean, they could all be in the same sort of state, but since I'm a West Coast player, I don't usually play on the Euro servers as much. So we're just waiting for Lopez to join up with the team again, and then we can have both teams ready up. So it seemed a little bit frazzled, perhaps, for United Lowbobs' Marine game. Perhaps a little bit too onesie-twosie running everywhere kind of thing, but I think that's kind of an ongoing problem for a lot of the either teams new to a competitive play or just lower division teams in general. Just the Marine game can always seem so much harder just because, well, it takes more coordination, it takes more, you know, you have to make sure that your commander's paying attention to the right thing. You have to, you know, as a commander, be making sure that you're researching the right thing and everything like that. Meanwhile, it's Alien, you could get away with a lot more running around everywhere, you know, and that kind of thing. Is that somebody who changed their name? Or is that a new player? Oh, I guess it's a different player. Looks like we got, what is it? Roflunzo now in here instead of... Oh gosh, my mind is my mind is a sieve. I don't remember who it is that he swapped out for. So we had one swap in on their end, and it looks like I think Urban Myth is all the same. So we should be starting up with round 2. Oh, it doesn't have that little box. I have to look at the thing. Okay, Urban Myth are all ready to go. So hopefully Lowbobs will be starting up soon as well, and then we'll be moving on. I mean, looking at the time right now, I mean, this did get started a little bit late because of server issues, so hopefully the there won't be any more major delays. I mean, all things considered, there shouldn't be, but you never know. I'm not quite sure whether after this, whether we're going to be switching to a US East server. We may be, so that way it's fair. I mean, obviously, you know, pings aren't exactly great for Urban Myth at this point. Your servers are kind of far away from from a large chunk of the North American continent. How about that? An ocean and a continent away. Wow. So we'll see how that goes. Gomo's having fun sitting in the ceiling, pretty much. Rufflunzo is like, what? Anyway. So we're just waiting on... Oh, never mind. We're going to get right into round 2 here, and I totally forgot my overlay, so who cares? I don't need to hit any buttons. So this will be round 2 here on... round 2 of, you know, the total 4. Second one on Biodome with Urban Myth now as Marines and United Lowbobs as aliens. Nothing crazy going on at Alien Start. And we're going to see a much more, you know, standard comp play of going for Arms Lab first down here for Urban Myth. However, it looks like Lowbobs are not going to be going for some giant, you know, sneaky base rush. That was pretty interesting that they didn't see that base rush coming. I mean, it's like, as I said back when it actually was happening, you need to make sure that you actually like see or hear some of the skulks. Just 'cause, you know, it's generally a good thing to, you know you're not getting base rushed. So armor 1 is done for them. It'll make it that much harder to kill these guys. They're gonna pick off Hectics there because Zauber didn't go in at just the right moment to try and pick one of them off. He does get a lot of damage into Ike, but not enough to kill him. Forrest is playing Ring Around the Rosie there with Rafflunzo and Gimme. Not quite sure why he was using his pistol at that point. Again, it doesn't work that well. It doesn't work that well with when aliens still have armor, and at this point, you know, this part of the game, when there are these initial engagements, you can kind of assume that they all have armor, most likely. Almost takes out Rafflunzo there. Shadow's going after Gimme, doesn't quite get enough bullets into him. Or, I guess armor 1 is starting now. I misread the little announcement thing. Because I'm amazing like that. Anyway. Hectics and Rafflunzo, and Gimme all come swarming White Jaguar, who gets taken out because he ran off by himself. They did get that capped over there in Falls, but it's not going to remain capped for long. They actually no, the one here in Seeding went down as well. Yes, okay. So Force is going to run off to Hydro. Ike running away, but there's kind of 3 Skulks and only 2 Marines. This would have been a lot more fair if Forrest hadn't run off to Hydro. I think he's waiting to see if a Harvester will be dropped, but I think the Drifter probably spotted him. So at this point, his best bet is to clear the sys and get the heck out. Gimmy's working on that Harvester, or Extractor. That thing that creates res. Forrest gonna try and get enough. Get enough into Forrest, or Forrest is going to try and get enough bullets into Hectic's hands of clearing both of them before I'm able to figure out English. It looks like Gimmy's going to get a free extractor over there in Canopy. Shadows is not going to be around the corner fast enough to save that, but he will be able to recap. So they did finally decide on an upgrade there. They decided on Shift High for Lowbobs. Kind of a delayed start there. I mean, this would be a good time for them to start putting down some upgrades, but with that little bit of a delay, I mean, it isn't too horrendous. It's not like, you know, missing life form timings and that kind of thing that can really mess you up. But, And Gimme is just being as annoying as skulkishly possible. But Gomo is just like, screw you, we're gonna kill you. And he gets around the corner with like 2 HP or something. Meanwhile, Hectics and Zalber both moving into seeding. I can force her there, though. Between the two of them, they may actually be able to, you know, take out some of these skulks. Force moves a little bit far forward, but he's able to, you know, not go down in that initial skull crush there, and is able to clear. They are able to clear them out. They move into Hydro. They'll be able to get a nice little tasty treat of a Harvester and a Drifter there. Shadow's running along there, parasited with his axe out, I think. Suddenly realizing something might be suspicious. I don't know whether he saw part of Rafflunzo's feet or if he moved or something, but he suddenly comes to a screeching halt there. And they are able to get the Harvester. Drifter's next. And we got Hectics up as a lurk. And the two Skulks here are just gnawing through everything. Both fairly low, so the next respawner maybe it'll clear them before they're able to get to the extractor down. Maybe. But with Hectics up as a lurk, that'll make things a little bit harder, of course. And I think, oh, there we go. We got Zauber also up as a lurk. So a pretty standard 2 lurk start there. Phase gate's almost done. Instead of weapons 1, which is interesting. I don't know whether that means that they don't really count on their ability to, like, run out and survive. But I don't know. Seems a little bit early. But if they really need that map positioning, okay, there's the weapons 1. So it's not going to be too horrendous time-wise. But it maybe would have been better to prioritize them in the other order. Rafflenzo getting spotted up there in the ceiling, taking a little bit of chip damage with both the lurks in the area. Even if he hadn't gone and cleared up those Marines, it would have been probably going in the in United Lowbobs' favor anyway. Here comes Hectics getting a nice bite on Force, another bite. And a couple more chomps to clear that up, and that poor extractor is going to be doomed. So they're setting up a base here in Falls, which is of course a good forward position. We'll have to see if what they end up doing with it, since, you know, at this point I would assume it would be 2 Fades and, you know, an Onos for the remaining field players that are not a lurk. We'll have to see if they end up doing that. Taking a look quickly at the res graph, you can see that at this point, United Lowbobs have pulled ahead. At least as far as RT's go, and of course, you don't want the aliens to even have equal res as you, let alone be ahead. And they've been, you know, just keeping pace, keeping it a higher res income, which of course allows the early life forms. Meanwhile, as a Marine, you're stuck with, you know, terrible weapons because you're, you know, behind, at least as far as the, you know, keeping up tech path goes. But they almost take out Hectics there. He's able to get out through the vent. They just really needed another bullet or 2 in there, and he would have been dead mate. As Force moves back into the corner, he's almost getting enough. He's running around with his axe. He's trying to get that axe kill, but he's not able to get it. He almost could have taken out Gimme, one way or another. All right, so this little, you know, horde of, you know, fortifications here is going to make it much harder for them to try and take out Falls. And Gomo goes down. White Jaguar is going to be next. I think they're going to be able to hold on to that, no problem. It is, looking at the res, it is that Fade res, so that starting of Metabolize going to be up pretty soon after Fade's pop. But I think at this point they might just be trying to go forward, kill some Marines, then when they die, go back and, you know, turn it to Fades. Rafflenzo doesn't care, he's just gonna bite stuff, and Urban having some ping issues. I don't know whether they want to pause for that, or if they know that they can pause for stuff like that, but that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, obviously, hopefully it's only a one-time thing, and it's not the server just totally barfing over everything. Shotguns are now done. We're up to 39 res. Where are the Fades? Why are our Fades not Fades yet? Gimme getting out with no health again. He seems to be an expert at that. Lopez going in there. He's able to take out shadows. Hey, pings have sort of stabilized, it looks like. Both alerts. However, there is a shotgun there. I don't think the shotguns have been seen in combat yet, so this may be a little bit of a surprise there. But with White Jaguar, you know, showing himself now, they may have spotted it. He hasn't shot yet, though, which is, you know, the usual way that you'd spot it. Gets a couple nice bites on his Zauber, being very brave, trying to bite the shotgunner, and the shotgunner is down. Gomo's going to try and recap. He's able to get the cycle the shotgun, but it's far enough away. It's probably not going to be recapable anyway. Urban Force and Ike, Force. I'm not used to skipping over that chunk of their name at the moment. Anyway, Force is over there just trying to get some armor back. Well, that RT. Split up from Ike now, though, and since both of them are shotguns, that's kind of bad. You know, make this wall, like, you know, not be between you guys. So our fades in this time are Rapunzel and Gimme. Gimme moving in on Forest, taking him out. Oh, they took out his friend too. They were trying to get a gate up. There's a hive building over there though. Could they not hear it? That would have been really amusing if that had actually worked, but right now there's 2 shotguns just sitting there because, well, that gate wasn't going to work out. At this point, probably ignoring falls and going for, you know, the side of the map or something. One side of the map is probably going to be a better thing, but at this point, I mean, they're sitting at weapons 1. Oh, hydroponics has been dropped as well. So, they're kind of 2 hives building. The Fates have to back up a little bit because needing some more armor. I mean, all things considered, it's weapon 1's Marines. It's not too scary for them. They still only have armor 1, so again, it's not too scary there either. They're going to be able to just go zip on by, except for they skip by Shadows there. Hectix tries to take a chomp at him, living a little bit dangerously, perhaps. Goma's around the corner there. Seeing a lot of nice hiding around corners, except for there's kind of this issue called they're fighting against things that they shouldn't be anyway. At least not solo. Get a couple more friends and then hiding around the corner there would probably be good. Forrest moving in. By himself as an LMG, so at least he's not expensive when he dies. He goes down to both the fades. White Jaguar also going solo. Again, just an LMG. Hey, we got another soloist. We have Ike up for his solo in death next to the hive. They know that those hives are there now. They have to figure out what the heck they're going to do, though, and they need to stop running off solo. And just, they need to get rid of these life forms, like, ASAP. But it looks like they're just going to call it. I mean, looking at the res grab before it ends, yeah, they haven't been able to do much to them in the last, since about minute 4.5. So they're just going to call it. And give that round to Lowbobs. I didn't even need to get to Onos. So, alright. First 2 maps done, or first 2 rounds on that are here on Biodome are done. The next map will be Vale, of course, the lovely, unforgiving Vale. So let's see what happens here. Whether we're going to be switching servers or what. Looking at the time. Okay, looks like we are going to US East. So I will wait for some of them to go, and then I will join off one of the people I have on my friends list. So Alien wins. I don't think that's particularly unexpected in this. I suppose there may be a bunch of that going on. You know, just between the fact that, as I said, it's a lot easier to work without complete coordination. When you're, you know, an alien, there's a lot less. Everybody has to be paying attention to the same thing. They're a lot more mobile. Just overall, it's generally the thing that people end up having the least issues with, I think. Alright, so some of them have swapped to a new server. Let me take a look here and see if I can find one of them. Alright, where in this giant friends list of mine are they? Alright, looks like he switched servers, so I will follow that guy. Jaguar. Alright. I can type the right password. Alright. So we are now moving to US East, which should give you know, less of a ping disadvantage for Urban Myth. Probably an advantage unless, you know, secretly they all have bad routing. But it should be a good set of ping there for Urban Myth, and not so great for United Lowbobs, but we'll see. Let's take a look. Yeah, that isn't too bad at all. So assuming nobody has crazy ping issues, this should be pretty much okay, I think, for them. So we'll get here into oh wait, we have to switch the map, don't we? It's Vale, isn't it? Not like totally hallucinating. Let me take a look. Okay, where's the info? I swear I wrote down it's Rift Teams Maps? Oh, yeah, it's on the friggin' NLSL site. That's what I'm looking for. Alright, it is Vale. So if this is not map switching... Oh, okay, they were doing a vote while I was looking for the thing, trying to figure out where the heck they stashed that information. So alright, so we're going to Vale. Of course, I think everybody pretty much knows Vale unless you're completely new to NS2. Vale is probably one of the most played maps. It's kind of finicky though, in that if you don't win your initial engagements, it can go very, very badly for you unless you totally throw the game. However, if you lose your initial engagements, like in East Junction, you still can come back if you do some sneaky McSneaky things, like go for a base rush, that kind of thing. I've seen games where they totally, or aliens lost Nano, and then they immediately turned around and went for Marine Start, zoomed on into Marine Start, killed the comm, killed the chair, and won. So, though it's possible to win after losing your initial engagements, it's not going to be like, unless you, as I said, you do very quickly claw your way back, it's going to be it's going to be a difficult road. So to see how they end up playing. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing Gorges going to Nano for both teams, but it's not, a 100% thing. It's like a 50-50 whether or not they send a Gorge there or end up just assisting there. So as we wait here for everyone to reconnect, I have to see how this ends up going. Let's see where we're at. Set the score back to 1-1. There we go. So Alien wins. All that complaining, and they maybe should have been on US East the whole time. Alright, so what have we got here? I think we got everybody in here. Oh gosh, what team had the swap in? Alright, so we got, let's go over the roster scan for United Lowbobs. We got Holo, Gimme, Lukes, Lopez, Hectix, and Zauberfuchs. And for Urban Myth, we've got Gomo, Shadows, Spectation, White Jaguar, Force, and Ike. So I think this is back to what they had the first round. I just can't remember who the heck was the one who dropped out for Lowbobs in the last round. I know that it was, oh gosh, I'm already forgetting who it was. It was like Rufflenzo. I just don't remember who he traded out for because I'm great at remembering everything, obviously. So, alright. We got everybody in here. We got a comm in the chair for the Marines. Don't have one in the hive yet for aliens, but we're heading in that general direction. Oh hey, the chat box is alive now. I guess that is because it's a different server. Means I don't have to go to console. It's great. Alright, so I'll have to see whether they, of course, whether they end up going for an armory first or if they end up going for an arms lab here for Lowbobs. I don't think the gates exactly worked out for them, like, well at all back on their last Marine round. It just, I don't know, I felt like even though they had the tech, they weren't able to use it that much, and yeah, their first gate position was pretty terrible because they weren't able to, like, move around it, and also the presence of walls means that skulks can come flying at you at increasing speeds. But Urban Myth is all ready to go, so hopefully we'll get them readied up soon here as well. They got Spectation sitting in the chair, or Hive, giant Pokeball, whatever, eyeball. Alright, so it's gonna be 2 minutes or so before they get going, and I think that's pretty reasonable. I mean, I think that technically they also have another, even though the time period on this is slightly more scrunched than, you know, and normal matches, which always feel like they drag on forever. Yeah, forget it. I mean, I'd give them an extra 10 minutes because of the server issues, but that's just me. I'm just a caster. I'm not signed up to rep, so it's all up to Zephod if they don't like whatever calls there are. So they have another 5 minutes here before, well, 4 minutes here really before they're able to get, before they get yelled at by people. I don't know if they are able to go and do some sort of base rush thing at this. We may see all 4 rounds, but if it's an actual longer game, we might not, especially, you know, given the fact that we've already had 10 minutes, you know, thrown away. Oh no. Typing in the wrong chat, perhaps? Or trying to be trolls. I'm not quite sure which. About to see if they actually do go for Gorge or if they're just being silly there and trying to play mind games. Not sure if intentional all chat. I'm going to blame Zobber for this. Yep. Alright, so I think they're all ready to go now, maybe. Possibly. We may be moving into the 3rd round here. Of Group B, I think. Set 2 of the TAW Newcomer Tournament. Maybe. Potentially. Okay, he's moving around now. Are they all alive? All up to this guy. He's not moving yet. Or rather, he stopped moving. Okay, they're gonna get going. We're gonna move on into round 3. We'll have to see how this plays. How are the initial engagements going to go? Is there gonna be a base rush? Are they gonna make it out of here in 30 minutes or so time? We shall see here. And we got a pipe start, so basically the same as pregame. No biggie there. And we are going to see an arms lab. And they're actually going to power build it, so they're really wanting their armor. Shift Hive being first there for our Urban Myth. Here a lovely Drifter being built. Got some sneaking going on through the vents. 3 going out towards Topo. Pretty standard there. I think they might be trying for another base rush. But you gotta show some skulks somewhere. You just gotta make sure that they don't think that there's, you know, an incoming skulk pack. Alright, so they've seen White Jaguar. He's gonna lure them away. They need to start getting out of that vent though. They have Marines in that vent. Sneaky, sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky goes the skulks. Okay, except for Ike. Ike is like, screw this, let's run. Getting a little bit of chip damage there. They're gonna have Luke's jump out of the chair. He's gonna run away from the IP. Good call there. Ike's gonna take some damage. They're gonna take down Luke's. Take a lot of chip damage. He's respawning though. Hectic's moved back. Here comes Lopez as well. They're gonna jump on that IP and try and take that down while the three of them that are remaining. I'm not quite sure. It looks like Force was like doing nothing there. They're gonna take down the IP, so that's a good start there. And they don't have enough they don't have enough res right now. They have to cancel one of the IPs that they... What? Head tilt? Did somebody jump in the chair while, you know, somebody was jumping in the chair? That was not very nice. Why did you kill him with the command chair? That isn't very nice. Anyway, they've assisted into Nano, so they're gonna get that rolling. Probably should have assisted there first, just so that way they could have that res going along, unless, you know, a Marine showed up there and killed it. But they got that other IP up now, and so now they're clearing the backlog of dead Marines. And Zauber's just hiding in a corner. He's a good distance away there, so when he's reloading, go in on him, take him out. Here comes the Skulk Swarm. Clear him out. We have Gomo hiding around the little platform there. In Overlook. And he's going to take out Hectics, no problem, and then go back to hiding maybe? Or take out that RT. The RT's down in Topo. Ike has no health, but he's going to go YOLOing in on Holo and Gimme. Maybe it was Holo who set the round out. I think it might have been. Either way, that initial bit of pressure there onto... what's it? Marine start and killing the IP. That probably helped a lot. Forrest getting a nice kill on there, but he onto Holo, but ends up going down to Gimme. Marines should not be in vents. At least not when there are skulks in them. Right above their head. Anyway, Gimme's gonna go through and he's gonna pick, or it looks like Zauber was the one who actually took out Shadows, and then Gimme's gonna take out Ike. So a nice little engagement there for them. Get reloaded, and it looks like they're gonna move into Nano. Or at least cut the sys chain, though. It looks like they're building another sys chain going around. Or no, they're systing from Nano out there. The auto sys chain being obnoxious, it looks like. Definitely a case where you should manually sys, because they're gonna potentially lose that sys chain if they don't reconnect it ASAP. But they're split up here. Holo's like all by himself over here, and if Ike and Force might have been able to move in there and, you know, kill him. Lurks are up though, or Lurk, because that's that'd be Shadows up as a Lurk this time. I'm assuming we'll see White Jaguar up as a Lurk too once he's dead, which he just did. So they aren't going to be able to go through and hold on to Nano at this point, but with both Lurks they should be able to go through and clear that no problem, especially before the RTs die. I mean, they're just desysting it at this point. Just come on, build your sys chain around here, make it look like a happy face, or it looks like they're assisting through here instead, which also works just fine. As long as there are multiple ways and they aren't relying on Nano. We got Shadows moving in there along with Gomo, who ends up going down. Shadows needs to flap his way out of there, not just glide on out. Trying to get some assists in there. It looks like they probably will lose this right RT over here. But White Jaguar's in there. Serious business Lurk time. He's able to get in there, and I don't think it's going to be alive. I think it's going to be a dead RT. So the poor RT is going to be doomed. We got Hectix and Lopez just chilling out down here in sub. Looks like Urban and Goma are going to head that way. They really should be using the Lurks over there. I see Lurks that are far away from everything. Nah, that's just no problem. Hectix is just, you know, rips through them with his LMG. Zauber gets some damage there into White Jaguar, but he's... Oh, White Jaguar gets very low. Shadows moves in to do some cleanup. He just needs to spike him. Turn around, spike that guy. Nope, he got meted. Might be able to. Maybe, maybe, maybe. No, he's gonna run the heck away. They need to work together, though. There's definitely something that, they could have won that. It's just one Marine. It's not that scary. We got Gimme and Holo over here in C12, clearing out the cysts. Not quite timed well enough to be able to get clear them both out right there, but they are able to... Oh, Gimme actually killed Holo. Either way, it finally did get cleared up, and that RT has plenty of health, so it'll be alive again fairly soon. They put a good drifter there, and oh my goodness, 4%. They almost lost that RT too. So we're seeing a group of 3 Marines heading south. Or 2 now, I guess. It'll be somewhat obnoxious to get them out of cargo if they're able to, you know, sit back in this part of the room, just because the distance is involved. But with the Lurks up and Fades are not too far not too far behind. It shouldn't be too bad. I mean, one Marine down for one skulk. And I think I saw a lurk on the edge of my screen, but he might have been going back to heal. With the 3 assists there, it's going to be not too big of a deal. Yeah, here we go. We got White Jaguar heading down to cargo fairly soon. Meanwhile, we got two. We got Kimmy and Holo heading into C12. Skulk goes down. Not too much of an issue there because he had like no health if it was the same one that I'm recalling. And now the lurks are going to rotate elsewhere and do stuff. Do fancy pants lurk things. Lopez hiding around the corner. He's able to get nice shots onto Forrest. The only problem is that there was kind of, you know, a lurk coming up behind him. So at this point, the lurks could go bite down over there and overlook, or perhaps go and, you know, kill something else like that. We got Gimme running the heck away as he gets swarmed. Gomo getting very low, able to run away. Hectics and Lopez maybe moving on in. Getting some damage onto Shadows, and the lurks decided to back out of that. There are only weapons one, but you know, with Shift Hive first, that still hurts a lot because you don't have Carapace as the lurks right now. They do obviously have, oh gosh, what is it? Celerity. Oops. Sorry, there's a window flashing on my other monitor. It's slightly distracting. Anyway. And we're seeing Gomo. He's going to appear here as a fade here momentarily. They are midway through researching Metabolize. So that'll help out a lot there. Probably wanting to start researching shotguns soon, though. As soon as they get the res for it, but it looks like they're just going to continue capping. We'll take a look here at the res graph in a moment. Keep it pretty even, averaging around 4 RTs. And so far, Marines are keeping fairly... Oops, as I hit the wrong one. Marines are keeping fairly far ahead as far as kills go, but... Oh, a nice pinch there from Zauber jumping into the vent. So White Jaguar is down, and he did seem to be the stronger of the two lurks, so that's going to hurt them a lot. Though, he's almost up to the point where he can just re-lurk, so not like horrendous. But they're at the point of the game where they don't need two lurks necessarily. Sure, if Shadows does as well, then it's, you know, go re-lurk, duh. But, or have White Jaguar re-lurk, duh.
Command station taking damage.
Yeah, people being annoying up there and just getting a little bit of chip damage on the CC. Nothing huge though, I mean it's at 99% and it has a lot of HP. But, you know, it's at the point of the game where they don't really need two lurks. I think they're already getting paranoid, I think, about Onai. Which is still quite a ways off. I mean, the fades just came up. Well, it feels like it was, you know, them just appearing. They're up to... Oh, there goes Shadows somewhere. Hectics. Oh, there's the corpse right over here. He stayed in for a little bit too long. So, okay, guess what? White Jaguar, you can go re-lurk now. And Holo kills Zauber. Guess that was down here. I'm missing out on all the cool stuff. Some mines putting some damage into Gomo, but he's going to be able to go back to the hive no problem. But at this point, it's not looking so good for Lowbobs. The alien res has pretty much stayed standard, or stayed pretty constant at 4, and they haven't done anything to try and challenge Nano. I think that maybe it would have been better if they'd gone after a Nano at some point after that first push, whether it be with arcs or something. 'Cause at this point, they're just kind of running on in and dying horribly. But that's part of the thing with Vale. I think that those initial engagements, though they didn't really happen at the normal parts of the map that you're expecting, the fact that they ended up 20 res behind, you know, at minute 1 basically, not good for United Lowbobs. They are up to 3 RTs. Yeah, I guess I don't know if did they ever have a point. Okay, so for a little while there, between 5 and, I don't know, 8 minutes, there was a point there where they could have gone arcs, maybe. There's still some nice little mines placed up to be obnoxious, maybe get a kill on some skulks or lurks. Looks like nobody's bothering re-lurking at this point. Just taking a look here around the map, but we got the 3 pusher Marines just kind of scooting along here. They still don't have shotguns either, so that's not helping them either, just because, well, they don't have that, like, burst damage from, having a shotgun. So Zobber tries to shoot Ike, and all he does is summon Gomo from the other side of this little console in the pit on the side of the topo. They're going to go after that. Meanwhile, I got the 4-push down here, and they're going to try and get that gate up. They're going to try really hard to do so, but they got Gomo there, so unless they're able to kill him, or at least chase him out, they're going to chase him out, no problem. I mean, he just needs to run back to Nana to heal. Whatever. They got the hive already building, mostly built down there in cargo. So they're doing Urban Myth sitting at a really good position right now, and 6 RTs. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, at this point, they're maybe just saying, hey, guess what? We can just, have our lurks go Onos in a little bit. I mean, they're up to 35 res already. That was a bad split there for Lowbobs. We had a mine blow up. They had a bad little split there just because, having one alien attack the gate pulled one of the Marines back, so then they were split up and just, kind of a disaster in that aspect. But now they got some more through the gate, they almost take down Forest. And Gomo's over there healing as well. Quick look at the time here, and we got our Onos up. We got Ike up as an Onos, and he's just, trundling along here. They got charge up for him as well, and are starting on leap for the skulks. And since those that were lurks are now up to 40 res, it's going to be pretty easy for them to just, do some damage on the res and just wait for Onos at this point. If a Fade dies, they can go be a lurk, be an Umbra machine. But since they don't really have that at this point, I mean, just the fact that they're losing this gate and there's nobody here to defend it, I mean, Holo's off there recapping. But they're kind of against a Onos now, and they don't have shotguns. They're still at weapons 2, armor 1. Almost takes down Hectic's there, but Gomo has to retreat because he, doesn't feel like dying. Here comes Force, flanking from behind, gets a nice swipe on each of them. But Ike's there, so he's going to be able to come in and just gore them to death. Zobber looks like he's going for a sneaky face gate. He's hoping that'll be an option. But unfortunately, Gomo's coming back through, and he takes a swipe at Zobber, and there's going to be a very short-lived duel here, I think. Or not, missing a couple too many swipes there, but hey, that's okay. We got shadows moving in as well. Either way, if there was going to be a phase gate there, it's not happening anymore. So probably a good idea to like assist through there, and if they're really concerned about it, they could put a whip there as well. It's not like they're short on res. I mean, they have 5 RTs. I mean, that is not good. If you are a Marine, you want the lines to be like, keep the Marine res line where it is, and you want that to be their alien line. That is the ideal. Are a little bit closer, but not as much res as you, ever. Shadows is able to survive and take down the RT. Meanwhile, then here comes Gomo, swiping away at Zobber, missing a couple swipes, but able to get out, no problem. Metabolizes, goes back in, clears that up, no problem. Meanwhile, we got the Onos on the other side, and Ike is actually pretty low, so he's gonna have to zoom around the corner there. And Force is just like trapped in a corner. What's going on with Force? Force went the wrong way. What happened there? Oh, he like missed the turn there, and so he was just like trapped in a corner, going like, help, help. I'm trapped in a corner. Well, he can go lurk and have Umbra. They do have Umbra research, so he might as well do that. And the lurks are almost to Onos. They're at 51 res right now. So that'll actually be really nice. They just get 3 Onos and a lurk that can spew Umbra everywhere. And it's just like, oh man, why? Gomo, why'd you go into 3 Marines by yourself? Hive's up to 32% grown here. They have 2 whips that they're trying to build very quickly. They may lose this hive, but it's like no problem whatsoever. I mean, they're gonna take down another. They're gonna take down another shotgun, and that'll be it for that push. So they had 1 drifter died. So they're gonna get the whips built there. They're gonna take down some res. You can see the base was blinking because there was a skulk on it. Didn't do much damage, if at all. And there was a Marine walking into Nano. Just not really much effect on Nano for 1 Marine to wander in there. I mean, the point of arcs has passed. Armor 2 and shotguns are done, but Armor 2 is, well, obviously, because they were just in that last engagement, but, Armor 2 finally getting started. It'll help a little bit. Ike, better watch out. He's not invincible. But apparently White Jaguar is, because he went in there with like 5 health, and he manages to take out one of the Marines before dying. So he'll be going Onos here momentarily, because guess what? We have Shadows up as the second Onos. We have Biobomb going, so I think that may mean that we're going to be seeing one of the Fades go Lurk and one of them going Gorge, I suppose. Or at least that would probably be the best combination, I think. So there's White Jaguar and his lovely Onos egg. They should just, at this point, they should just let these Marines walk into sub and just go to base. I mean, then they don't have to fight them, they have to beacon back, so even if that initial push into Marine start, you know, doesn't go too well, they're spending 10 res. Alright, so he needs to get out of there, heal up. They just need to figure out how they're going to approach this fight. They have the 3 Oni. 3 Onos go to win. Don't throw your Onos before you get to Marine start, please. So that would be bad. Alright, so they know that most of the Marines are on the left side of the map here, the side with Overlook and Sub and stuff. So really they should not fight through all the Marines. They should just, you know, go the other way. But it looks like they're just gonna GG it out. They've seen the third Onos. They know that their you know, length of time in this game is limited. And so they're just gonna get the heck out of there, and that'll be another alien win. Taking a look at the time here. All right. Apparently terrible at hitting the right button for my overlay. There we go. I hit the right one this time. All right. So far, Urban Myth will be 2, and I know the score's going to reset when Lowbobs get in here. So I'm just going to wait for them to get into the game before adding another point or 2. I need one more in there before it shows us their team. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's the current score. 2-1. Urban Myth in the lead. And we don't have that long for this last round, so I'm hoping that they'll, you know, do something, I don't know, fast. Whether it be a shotgun rush or base rush or something. I'm sure they can do it. I'd still give them an extra 10 minutes, though, just because of the server issues we had at the beginning. We didn't start quite on time because of that. There wasn't any great server for them to all play on. I mean, obviously with Urban Myth being an NA team, that means that they kind of have an extra, you know, 30 to 100 ping or so. And it's not very friendly. Alright, so looks like Lowbobs are swapping somebody. We got Raflenzo back. So yeah, it was Holo who was the one who swapped out. Ha! I figured it out. Mystery solved. Alright, so Urban Myth is ready to go. Luke's is in the hive, so it's just waiting on them to ready up. I just need to shout out their instructions and get the heck going here. We shall see. So I hope the other games are probably done or almost done at this point too. I mean, it's coming up on that point where it's just, you know, games are going to be concluding one way or another. Alright, come on. Give them some strats. Let's get this going so we can try and get a full round in here somehow. Let's go. Alright. So I think that if it's been like the last couple of rounds... Oh, never mind. I won't get a kill a bunch of time here. We're gonna move right into the final round finally. But if it's anything like the last couple alien rounds, it's gonna probably end up being more of an alien win anyway. Why am I failing at my overlay? That would be why. Okay. Any gorge? Lopez Gorge. Okay, so we got a gorge that'll be wandering off to Nano. Second IP being built there for Urban Myth. They're gonna have the comm build that while they head out to the naturals, which have been dropped, of course. Of course, it'll be heard in 5 minutes. I see the comment about overtime. I mean, me personally, I'm not the ref for this match, but I would give them another 10 minutes because of the server. Looking for different servers at the beginning, but again, that's just me. So tunnels up in Nano. So it'll take a moment for that infestation to spread, but they'll be able to go and get a nice amount of, initial stuff. Flunzo just like face tanking the Marines. They're able to take out 2 of the 3 that are there. Force is still there all by himself, but he's parasited, so he can't exactly move in on them. Meanwhile, we got Shadows over there. He's versus Gimme, who has like no health, so he ends up going down. But if Shadows caps that RT isn't going to be alive for very long, just given the fact that it's, right outside their base. And I hope that they do know that that is, that's where it is. 'Cause more the pressure is probably worth putting over on the C12 side of things, just because, well, nobody's over there yet. So Lopez is working on healing that up. They got Armor 1 going, so they did go for second IP and then Arm Slap. You got Hectics. They can hear him because... Or no, never mind. Was that a Crag or something? Yeah, that's a Crag that I'm hearing. I thought he had regen, and I was like, wait, what? They went Shift Hive. They can't be regen. So White Jaguar's gonna come around the corner. He knows that Hectics is there, so they should be able to go and cap stuff. I just need to make sure they don't leave that lane open, because Forrest is parasited, so I'm hoping he's just holding over there in east. Meanwhile, I got Gimme over there. Already took down one of the other skulks, so I guess was Zauber. And White Jaguar is just down there by himself. He could clear up that cis chain right there. Help slow that down. But Rufflunzo takes out Force, sorry. I keep reading Urban as part of the name. So here comes Rufflunzo right around the corner towards Gomo. Gomo's just gonna let him run by. And the first spur is completed. Ike is just hanging out. He's waiting to see maybe if there's some assists that he could kill, or a drifter or something, I guess. Rufflunzo takes that White Jaguar. And there goes Hectics. Well, let's see. Shadows is backing up. He's kind of afraid. There are 2 skulks and only one of him. Alright, here comes White Jaguar. They're gonna push forward together, it looks like. But they get split up around the wall, so that's gonna mean that White Jaguar is gonna end up going down here most likely. Guys, why did you split up around that wall? Gotta pay attention to that. If you're the guy behind, you're supposed to be following your friend. Or, making sure your friend does not run off to elsewhere. Especially when you know that there's, skulks hanging around there, which they should have suspected. So not a very good call there, but definitely good for United Lowbobs. So where have we got Lopez the Gorge? Both lurks are up. That'd be Zauber and Hectics. It's the Gorge. Am I just like unable to spot the Gorge? I hear it. Alright, there he is. There's Lopez the Gorge. Poor Rufflunzo is doomed. But he's gonna take Shadows down with him. I'd give them an extra 10 minutes. Come on. Oh well, so we got 10 minutes left of this game, one way or another. Shotguns have been completed there. Weapons 1, Armor 1, shotguns. At this point, taking a look at it, definitely a good advantage for United Lowbobs. Of course, 2 of those RTs are nano. But at this point, there hasn't really been much as far as pressure from the aliens, aside from over here in Overlook, which is kind of a dumb one to go into, at least from my point of view, just because it's right outside their hive. they should have probably put a lot more initial pressure onto the C-12 side of things. I mean, really gotta think about where you're going here. Or if you're gonna shotgun rush the hive, you gotta go all together, guys. So we got Lopez the Gorge there, making sure that Spur stays alive. One shotgun down, but Goma's gonna run over. He's gonna pick that up and then try and take a shot here at maybe one of the lurks. But Zauber's gonna probably go down. He does go down because he just glides on in there. He actually takes a lot of damage, does a lot of damage to Hectix as well, but he was at full health when going in there trying to face tank a shotgun. So that's one shotgun down. I mean, if they do want to do a shotgun rush, I mean, it isn't really a rush at this point, but it is a legit thing. You know, drop another couple comm chairs and hope that the drifters don't get him. And then just kind of wander into the race with shotguns. See what happens. I mean, you took out one lurk already. It's going to be a while before it fades. Oh, okay, not that long, but especially not with almost 6 RTs for the aliens, but at least you have half a chance. Hectic's zooming along there. He just flies over Force's head. Force is going to take a couple shots at him. See, either there's something on the power there. I want to see if they kill the Gorge. Come on, kill the Gorge. Kill the Gorge. We see 2 Marines wandering back. Power's at 75%. They almost take down Hectix down here. So I think that was probably the Skulk wandering up there, considering that there's, you know, 1 lurk and a Gorge. And there's the fades. We got Rafunzo up as a fade. We have mines started. It's a little bit late for mines, though. I mean, they help a little bit. But they're much more effective against lurks and skulks. And at this point, there aren't going to be that many of either left on the field, just given the fact there's a Gorge and there's a fade. So it's maybe a little late for that, but at this point, it is looking more and more like this is going to end up being a tie unless somebody does something really amazing. We got 3 running down the side here. Let's see, Shadow's Ike. Okay, these are guys without res for shotguns. Come on, guys, don't bother with it. Just go to the hive. Ignore it. Ignore it. It's a sudden death. You're supposed to go kill the stuff, not an RT. Alright, they have enough res now for another hive, so the fact that they can go through and, you know, kill everything is not going to become much of an issue. They have their alternate healing up there in Nano, which is, you know, connected by a Gorge tunnel, so it's not much of an issue. And we got Gorges running into base. They want to win this. So they pull all those Marines down there. They lose 1 Gorge. The power's down to 45%, 38%, 29, 25, 23, 22. And they're welding it. Swarms of aliens everywhere. 32% on the power. And they're going to be able to weld it. Besides, if they decided to drop another hive and, you know, let them spend all that time trying to kill the main hive, that might have worked out a lot better. But I don't know. It is one of those scenarios that isn't exactly all that standard. I mean, trying to play NS2 with a timer over your head. We have a lovely vent gorge here. And Marine's just kind of holding on. More gorges. Alright, so they're even going for babblers there, it sounds like. Pipeline is dropped as well, so there's no options for them to, you know, go and actually drop in that chair. That chance has come and gone, so at this point there's just a bunch of aliens hanging out in an event. Ike is maybe suspicious, maybe not. Nope, they're just going to go after the Harvester. This is a perfect opportunity for the aliens to go and go for base again. Power is at 100% again. So they just need to kill the hell out of it. Kill it dead. Oh, and they're going to get the power. Alright, those aliens are squishy. Call in the fades. 2 Marines left, and this is going to end up being another alien victory. Didn't quite get it the first time, but second time's the charm. Alright, so GG from Urban Myth there. So that'll be 2-2
Command station under attack.
final score here as soon as they get to the crunchy center of the command share. Or chewy center of the command share, whatever. The tasty treat inside the metal lunchbox. And there they go, final score. I can't hit the score button anymore. Dang it. Alright. So a mildly chaotic game, last game there. I think that I could have easily gone the other direction if Urban Myth had decided to commit to it could have ended up going the way of Urban Myth if they'd ended up just kind of thinking a little bit more about, you know, what they could do to you know, commit to a hive and kill it. If they'd gone in all shotguns, right, or even all LMGs even can do a huge chunk of damage to it. Back earlier in the game, before, you know, giant herds of gorges kept appearing. That could have been a lot better option. You know, drop chairs in other places, have one person run down and build them, just so there's a back one, or back thing. What am I saying? Backup, yeah, words. If they'd gone through and added in a, like, backup chair there, then it would have been fine. But, that will be it for this round. I think this might even be the last round from this set that is still going. Well, was still going. So the next set of rounds will start on the hour. That'll be at, you know, noon Pacific. I don't know what time zone it is, wherever the heck you are. But, you know, next set of games will be setting up. You can check the full list of matches at ensl.org. Obviously, different set of maps as well. And I'll be casting again, you know, in the... How long was it? What time is it again? Exactly. 20 minutes from now, I'll be casting again. So you can either come back here, or I'm assuming that, like, I saw Vindaloo in chat, so I'm assuming he'll also be casting, let me look at the list. Alright, starting noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 21 CET. You have your the maps are Descent and Zombie, and you have a choice of Hefty, Ixion, Rubby and Jason, Zaphod, Vindaloo, or myself. For your casters, of course, there's going to be, you know, the whole giant herd of matches going on. So pick your poison, and hopefully one or more of us will be seeing you in 20 minutes or so. So thank you for watching. See you then.